Okay, just like that, back with another portable Clint. Guys, I have a personal friend here and one of the best character actors I know. Ladies and gentlemen, Troy Fromin. Get in here, Troy. Get in.
Hey, I found a plastic cat.
Hey, look at you, Troy. Look at you.
Hey, before we go on, let me give you a sandwich.
See, let me tell you about Troy. Troy Fromin. I don't know if you know the Fromin's Famous Deli. They own it. And I am a son of a restaurant owner. So I get it. Exactly.
Yeah.
What do you got here, Troy?
This is called the Deli Club. You want to show it to the people?
Yes. Man, I got a phone call going, hey, Clint, can I bring you something?
When they see this, we're going to be swamped with more customers. This is called the Deli Club from Fromin's Deli. It's pastrami, corned beef, Swiss cheese, triple decker.
Troy.
I was smelling it in the car and I almost ate it.
I can thank you so much, friend.
You're welcome, man.
Oh, man.
We've known each other
wait to eat that.
since 90. What
Troy,
year is the Tostitos?
I believe we started in 1995, our friendship, filming Tostitos commercials.
95?
But let's wait for that.
Okay.
Troy, let's start from the beginning.
Well, before we go on,
we got more.
I gotta set something up here.
Oh boy.
You know, I don't know if it was smart for both the icons like us to be in public.
Well, I know. Let's see what we got.
But I brought this bunny poop exploding to fend off the paparazzi.
Thank you, Troy. That's good thinking, man. We may need that later.
You know what this is, right?
Troy, yes, but let's wait until we need it.
I'm going to put it right here.
Okay, good.
They're very cheap.
Okay, thank you, Troy,
and
for
effective.
bringing that just in case.
Yeah, okay.
All right. Troy,
yes,
when did you think about starting to act? What got you? What did it? And when and where were you?
At a very young age, I was inspired by science fiction, fantasy, and horror. I couldn't get enough of it. Twilight Zone, anything. I mean, I watched comedy too.
Okay.
I just kept soaking in it all I could. You know, at the weekends at my grandma's house, there's nothing to do. I spent it with them, and they're at work, and all day long I watched TV and horror films, and Frankenstein. I just fell in love with science fiction, fantasy, and horror. And then a few years later, I was reading the book The Stand by Stephen King.
Yeah.
And I'm going, I wish this would be a movie one day. I'd love to play a dead body on the sidewalk. That was my inspiration.
Okay.
And from there, I just kept, thinking how to do it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how did you get your first agent? How old were you?
My first agent? Well, first I did a lot of stuff by myself.
Okay, tell me about that.
My own canvassing. Back then there was
Your own canvassing, I like that. Go ahead.
There was no Wi-Fi, and everything was done by letters and mail and real photos.
Right.
Phone calls on a rotary phone. Things like that. So I got my own photo and I represented myself, and I looked on everything I could find, and I just sent it in. Sent in production companies through the drama log on the back. The drama log, I got so many low budget movies from. It was great. A couple co-starring parts, and then so I started sending it to agencies. I didn't hear nothing, but then on a movie I met this guy, and he hooked me up with his manager, and the manager took me in, and the manager was a manager and an agent combo.
Okay.
It's not important I say the names, right?
No, you can do whatever you want. You say whatever you want.
Well, it was the Emerald Agency. It was my first agent.
I mean, I like the little details.
And my manager was Janice Hansen, who played the wife of one of them in the Odd Couple.
Okay.
The original.
Okay.
Yeah, she's a famous actress.
Okay.
I think she's passed, I'm not sure.
R.I.P.
Yeah, so that was my first start. And she got me to an audition called The Doctor, which got me my SAG card.
Okay, Doctor.
Taft Hartley.
I saw your scene in Doctor last night.
With your friend John Lacey.
John Lacey is in it, a young John Lacey. Both of you guys were very young. Back in the day, there used to be a saying called right out of central casting, which means like if I'm looking for a jock, I would say, give me your best jock. And you would show up, right? I mean, that was like your calling card at that time.
Yeah. I played I went out for a lot of jocks, and I got a lot of jock roles.
You did.
Yeah, I did.
And if I think I've asked you before, and you've never played any sports either.
No, as a kid, softball, and I sucked. I was horrible.
Right. So Troy, that was what, 80, 89 when you did Doctor around then? 89, 90?
Yeah,
around then.
Yeah.
And then right after that, you booked something. You had two big bookings. Doctor.
It was after Doctor, you said?
Yeah.
Yeah. You'd have to remind me. I have to go on IMDb to see the
Okay.
sequential order.
Okay, but okay, you know what? Then let's kind of speed up a little bit.
That's fine.
You book something that's going to like set you off in a direction that you had no idea, which is called what's the show that I'm talking about? I know the name.
Saved by the Bell?
Saved by the Bell.
Yeah.
Saved by the Bell. Tell me about the very beginning when you heard about Saved by the Bell and what you did by Saved by the Bell. If I'm not mistaken, you did 3 different characters, but one really stuck.
Okay,
So
Saved
tell
by the
me
Bell.
every little bitty detail.
My manager agent combo, they sent me for an audition, something called Saved by the Bell, which I'd never heard of. It was playing. It wasn't as popular as it is now.
Sure, I know.
Until it went into syndication, and it became, it's a phenomenon.
Yeah.
And so I auditioned, and I got the part of Scud.
Scud.
Yeah, the guy who gets blamed for smoking pot in the men's room.
Yes, and that's a very famous episode, by the way.
Yeah, No Hope with Dope, and it had a.
Brandon Tartikoff
That's
at
right.
the very
Thank
end
you.
came on and did a little PSA.
That's right.
Hang on, we gotta wait for this guy to go by because this is the thick of it.
This is how he rolls.
You. Okay.
I mean, she.
Okay.
Never know these days.
You never know. So you go Scud.
Yeah.
And Brandon Tartikoff is at the very end saying nope to dope.
I was standing right in front of him when he did it.
Really?
Yeah.
And this commercial is still playing. It turned into like a funny commercial because every cast member said, "Don't do it, stupid, dumb." You remember that?
Yeah, of course.
They all said different
Yeah.
things, and then Brandon Tartikoff came on and said, "Nope to dope."
Right.
Did you say nope to dope?
No, I didn't say that. I wasn't in that part.
Okay.
I said something like, "I don't smoke pot. I'm not that stupid," or something like that. One of my lines.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then he goes, "Well, we just judged you by your demeanor, your looks." He goes, I do something like, "Yeah, I get that all the time," and I leave.
I remember you telling me a long time ago something about you being a part of that, and then you went home and partook.
Yes. Yeah, I was doing bong hits with my wife every night back then. And
Okay, we don't have to go into that. I just thought that was funny because it was such a memorable thing.
For a second, I was like thinking, and I like having a tear in my eye about what was going on, and I just said, "I'm an actor. Stop it."
Okay, so you do Scud. It's a very famous part. It's a very famous episode.
Right.
But that's not your famous
Right.
character.
So then I get a call later from a manager, and they said, "Troy, they love you, but they don't want to do Scud anymore. They don't want that character lingering in the school."
yeah, because
So I'm
he
like,
was the pot smoker.
Yeah,
I got
he
it.
would have been cool. But anyway, they want to try out the part of Ox. Go in there, just read a few lines. It's like it's yours, baby. You just gotta do the protocol. So I go in there, and the casting, they're all there, right? The major leagues, right in front of me. And I'm like, do the line, couple lines to go. Okay, you're Ox. Like that.
Okay, and how many episodes did Ox do?
Ox did 7.
But it feels like you were in it all year long, like every season for some reason. I mean, you were so connected to that.
Yeah, I was like a couple in season 4, and it went into season 5. Altogether, I did 8, and 1 is Scud, 7 is Ox.
Okay, and Troy, something I've never. How come you don't go on these circuits and signing stuff because of that?
Well, you have to be invited to those.
I know, but do you like seek out?
Not really, because I don't like to travel or
Well,
whatever.
Troy.
But I was invited to one, just Detroit Steel or something like that. But I just got over an operation, so I didn't want to travel.
Okay, well, a lot of my friends do it, and they make a nice little living doing that.
You have to seek it out, like.
Yeah, but they have an
Okay.
agent for it, and then they'll set you up. I think they got an agent. Some manager does it, but you should definitely look out for that.
Have you done that?
No, dude, I'm not big. I'm not connected to a part like you are.
Oh,
You know what I'm saying? It's
Yeah.
you always in this business. You have to be known for something.
right.
You can't be like, oh wait, is that? Oh yeah, is that guy? Wait.
Well, you know what you're known for?
What's that?
Consistently working.
No. I wish. Okay, so you do that, and then what year was that? What's the last year you did that? Do you remember?
Saved by the Bell?
Yeah, the last year.
Well, here, do the math. I'm 58. I did Saved by the Bell when I was 23.
Okay, but I'm just trying to figure out when you and I worked together. We shot like 5 Tostitos commercials.
No, I think we did our commercial before Saved by the Bell.
No, Troy. Way after, because I remember.
Because
I remember you like, no, dude, that's the guy from Saved by the Bell.
Okay, you remember me.
I got some proof here. I don't know. This is some pictures from the Tostitos commercial. It was really, really cool. First of all, here's Troy right here. And we did a commercial for the Tempe, Arizona, for the Tostitos Fiesta Bowl.
Yes.
And everybody was in it. Look at you. And Troy was with look at that chick that Troy was with. Remember that girl?
Yeah, these are the same photos I have at home.
Okay, well, I had to show the
Yeah,
people.
no, I know. I'm
Elliott.
surprised.
So,
there's one I don't have.
Yeah, it's a big deal. You can have them all.
Nah.
Anyway, look at that. You guys don't know. Pat, Jim Holmes, Clint, Troy, and Chris Dollard. Man, that was a good cast.
And who were the celebrities that were in it?
we had Rerun.
Yeah.
We had Charo.
Yeah.
We had Gary Coleman.
Yep.
Who else?
A couple character actors that are very known.
Yeah, no, we definitely it was a star-studded cast, and we shot during a live NFL halftime.
That's right.
And that was really cool. The whole thing was so cool. And we shot a live commercial during the Fiesta Bowl.
Right now, Clint's going to take you to a clip of the video right now.
No, I don't do that yet.
You can't do that?
I don't do that.
You could edit it later.
No. As soon as I'm done with this, I'm going to upload it, and it's out there.
Okay.
I don't do any editing, nothing. It is what it is.
All right. Well, I thought
that would be a good place to do it. That'd be a really good place to do it.
Yeah.
But you can find
we
it.
We can do a reenactment.
No, it's.
Hey, look, the Tostitos Bowl, Clint.
Hey, really? No, not really.
Okay, that's it.
Okay. All right, Troy, where are we now? So, Troy, you have done so many crazy title movies in your career. Can you just name the ones that are on the top of your head?
The ones like Shrunken Heads.
Okay.
I like that because it was a union paid gig for like 3 weeks.
Nice.
Shot on Paramount. I co-starred in it. Good memories on that.
You also did a movie for Paramount called The Perfect Weapon.
Yes, The Perfect Weapon.
I watched it last night. I remember seeing it a long time ago.
Yeah.
But I saw your part last night. You play a jock at the very beginning. He's the very first guy to get his butt kicked.
I'm the bully jock.
The bully jock.
That's one of the roles that I get fans certain things I got certain fans.
Yeah.
They reach out to me. I got one guy who's so crazy about The Perfect Weapon. He quotes me nonstop.
Well, it's a very quotable scene. I mean, it's right out of Central Casting, the bully jockey.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think you told me last night that was the first time you ever saw yourself on the big screen. That movie.
It was either that one or Return of the Living Dead Part 2. Those two movies are the first times I saw myself in an actual movie theater.
What was that like?
It was awesome. It was great.
Okay.
I loved it.
But my
dreams are coming true.
All right, okay.
Yeah.
So let's go back before I get to another movie that I think you will see yourself in. The one recently, but let's wait on that.
Okay.
Tell me some more titles of the movies you were in and a little bit about one of them.
Not the big one.
You can do it. No, yeah, not the big one yet. Because I want to talk about that.
I co-starred in this movie called Street Soldiers. I got through Dramalog. I play a street punk. I'm in the whole movie. It's a fun little action 90s movie.
Okay. I want to hear some names.
Speak of the Devil.
Okay.
Forgotten Heroes. Monster High.
Monster High. Didn't you have Cheerleader Massacre, Car Wash Girls or something?
Yeah, but I'll tell you the truth on that. That movie was never made.
It wasn't?
No, I don't know how they got the rating and everything on there. It was going to be made. I was casted and I auditioned for it. It was never made, but there it is on IMDb. But I'm not going to fight it because it's another credit.
Hey, man, I'm with you on that.
And there's another movie on IMDb that had nothing to do with me at all.
Which one?
Something like these people battling with armor and stuff. I don't remember the name.
But that's the reason why I called you in, because of that one. I'm kidding.
Yeah, but it's got my name on there. But I said, I don't care. It's another credit for me. More credits, the better.
Yeah. Okay, so Troy, you do a whole bunch of these movies, right?
Yeah.
And then COVID comes, and we have to start doing self-tapes.
Yeah, man.
And that changes everything.
Everything's changed.
And I benefit from Troy's friendship because he sends me some of his auditions, and I love them. He cracks me up during his auditions.
Well, because Clint has very helpful advice. I've been following it. He's my mentor.
Well, I'm sorry to let you down on that.
No, your advice is good.
Okay, but seriously, Troy, I love when you send me your auditions.
Okay.
So you started auditioning online. Tell me the first big part you booked while putting yourself on tape.
Maybe Grey's Anatomy.
Okay, Grey's Anatomy.
I got last minute call. I shot at the restaurant in the office upstairs.
Really?
Yeah, I had a waitress do it real quick.
Okay.
I sent it in. 2 days later, I booked it.
That's awesome. And you've done some nice TV shows because of this self tape, right? What else? Didn't you book some other big TV shows from it? I think you did.
Self tape.
From self tape.
The Grey's Anatomy. I got remind me.
Okay, well.
I'm stoned out of my mind.
No, you're not. Listen.
I am.
No, no, you're not.
Okay, I'm not.
Okay. So Troy.
Yeah.
You get a movie audition, right?
Yes, sir.
From self tape.
Yeah.
Tell me about that.
I study it. I do my cross-referencing.
Do you know the title of this movie yet?
The one
Yeah, the big one. The one you just shot with Lacey, dude.
Okay, Joker 2.
Yes, Joker 2.
I thought you wanted to hold on that.
Well, no, that's what I'm getting to.
Okay, I did a self-tape for Joker 2, and they bit my bait, and it called for like dialogue and like someone else to talk to the scene with me, but my wife, she doesn't do it right. So I said to them, I'm gonna do this monologue style. So I did the whole bit, my part, and some improv, and I used my son Tommy sitting in the chair like he was the Joker.
Right.
And I auditioned as one of the guards, in the shaving scene. So Lacey got that part.
Yeah, John Lacey.
And another thing, so I'm in the dressing room, but I saw the night before the call sheet.
Yeah.
I see John Lacey's name on there, so I know he's.
And by the way, you worked with John Lacey on your very first TV show, Doctor, and then here you guys are 30 years later working on Joker 2. Go ahead.
He comes into the makeup trailer, and I say, "What's up, John?" He looks at me like, "How the F did you ever get a part in this?"
Did he really say that?
No, he looked at me like surprised. I said, "I knew you were coming. Didn't you see the call sheet? My name was on it." He said, "No, I didn't." And then we like shook hands and we hugged, and so he was the guard and I was one of the prisoners in Joker 2. Okay. Here's a clip from that right now.
No, there's not. Troy, tell me about working on Joker 2. How many days did you had like a few weeks?
I worked 3 weeks on it. Yeah, not full week, not full every day.
Right.
But I worked like 18 days maybe as the prisoner. It was great. I mean, you walk in there and for lunch they're serving lobster tails. They got cranes up there with this big lighting. Everything's just millions of dollars of equipment. It's just unbelievable.
Okay, so you're thinking, wow, Joker 1 was a big
Oh,
hit,
yeah.
big success.
I was seeing dollar signs in my head.
Right. So you film it. When do you start sensing something may not be as right as the first one?
After the box office numbers.
And what does that do? Now, did you go?
My wife and I went to go see it. Yeah.
Okay.
And
where did you see it?
We went to see it at the Cineplex over on Jefferson, like
Okay.
the
Yeah.
Cinemarks
Okay.
or whatever.
Now, did you tell people around you that you were in the movie?
Oh yeah, I told people for like a year and a half.
Well, I know, but in the audience when you were sitting.
No, I didn't know.
Okay.
But my wife was like, "There you are, there you are." There you are. So I'm sure someone looked over and looked at me. So I pop up like 7 times.
That's awesome. That's
The
awesome.
2 close-ups.
Okay. Well,
But the signs of the first residual do not look good.
have you gotten your first residual?
I've seen, not yet, but I've seen on the IMDb app what it is, and it's horrible.
Wait, what is? I don't know what it is. Is
Well,
that a new app that tells you?
You go to I'm sorry, SAG, the SAG
Oh, you're
residual.
yes. Okay, all right. Yeah, I'm on that every day.
The SAG residual.
Yes,
yeah.
every day. So you see one coming.
It
your
says
way.
Warner Brothers, no name title, but I talked to two of the other actors, and they got the same thing. So that can't be a coincidence. That's the first check. I'm gonna tell you right now, it's like $188.
And you're okay. And when you booked this, you thought your first residual would be how much?
Thousands.
Okay, but you know what I've learned, Troy? That first residual is not always the biggest one.
Okay.
It's the second one's the third one.
Okay, that's good news.
Yeah. So that's what I tell people who got a $100 residual.
This is good information for the
Yeah.
people out there.
No, I'm serious. Yeah.
No.
It does get better.
You give me hope. Thank you.
Yeah, definitely.
That ain't no joke, girl.
That ain't no joke. And you know what? The Joker 2 is probably going to be a cold hit one day.
Appreciate it more later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anything else about that you want to talk about?
I sat through it. I thought there was like 2 or 3 too many songs for my taste. And the surprise was an ending to me totally. They were hush hush on the set so much.
Yeah, I bet they were.
And they said no pictures, don't take any pictures. And I
Did
didn't
you
want
take any pictures?
I did not. I didn't want to get fired. But I did take, with the wardrobe bag came in, my trailer, it had a picture of me on it, how I should look in the costume. So I took a picture of that.
Okay,
And that.
all right.
And I'm gonna do a collage later and publish it. Now that I can, that's been out. I
There
can do
you
that.
go. You sure can.
But my friend is a black guy named Toby, and he took a lot of behind-the-scenes pictures. I was talking to him last night. He's going to send me some.
Nice.
I want to see them.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Okay, Troy, I'm going to ask you this. This is not over with yet, but what do you want to do? What is your goal in this town these days?
To be consistently working.
Okay.
Be recognized as an actor that is partly of an icon, great '90s show.
Yeah.
And that sometimes that gets me parts. We're gonna have Ox in our movie, like the Stalker 1, Stalker 2. I found that through Facebook, my friend. I said, just throwing it out. I throw this out to everybody. How would you like to have Ox in you? And this guy's a Saved by the Bell fan, and they flew me down to Georgia.
See, Troy, that's the reason why you got to go do those conventions, man. You'll get even more work because you're out there.
You're right. I'm going to look into that.
Please look into
Thanks
that.
for that advice.
Yeah. Okay, now, Troy, my dad owns a restaurant, all right? And,
Right.
and my 2 brothers also own it, and they work all the time on it. I mean, it's a 6-day-a-week job, and because they're closed on Sundays.
Yeah.
Tell me about what it's like working there and going out on auditions, and how was your dad about that?
Well, that was the older days.
Okay, tell me
But
about that for a second.
I would get an audition, and I'd like break away from the restaurant, and then come back like two and a half hours
Was your
later.
dad happy when you told him that you had to go to an audition?
It got to a point where he says, business is slow. I have to cut help. I can't have you walking out on auditions any longer. So my career of acting, I had to pay bills, faded out because of the family and the business So then 13 years later, I rebuilt it again. And my dad says, I'll be more lenient with you. And that. So, but now that the self-tapes, it's a piece of cake.
Yeah.
But I do miss going to see the people
Sure.
in the room.
That's
Because
one of the
there's a chemistry there.
Absolutely, Troy. And people like to see people, and it's seeing each other at auditions helps the actor to keep moving on, because you get to see somebody you have something in common with.
Yeah.
You're hearing the war stories. It's
Right. I haven't seen Clint in years, and all of a sudden on the Disney lot, he comes around the corner and goes, "Hey, do you know where this place is?" And, Clint, it's me, Troy. And then I go, "Damn." So we're trying out for the same part as a teacher in Blackish.
That's right.
That's right. I messed up the word that and if you mess up the word that they're looking for, I'm out. I was out.
Yeah. I did not book that one. I did
I know
eventually booked.
I know you
one
were.
of the things.
Yeah.
But that was a tough room. I mean, they're great ladies, but they were you had to know your stuff in those rooms.
Yeah, you live and learn.
You live and learn. Troy, what else? What other project out there that I'm not thinking of right now that you want to talk about? What is the project that you wish would have went, you wish didn't go? Give me something here.
Well, there's a couple of movies I regret doing. I don't want to say the names of them.
Oh, but that's the best part of the names of the projects you're
fine.
in.
Horn Dogs Beach Party.
Wait, what is it?
Horn Dogs Beach Party.
Oh yeah, classic.
I got offered the part of Horn Dog, and I'm thinking this is great. And then the whole thing was shot by this director. I don't want to say his name.
What's his name?
Is it Dustin Ferguson? He makes these low budget pieces of crap, but I was happy to do it at the time. But when you watch the movie, it's like a porn with no sex.
Okay.
It's horrible.
All right.
And the editing, it's like he makes these movies just to make money and pay the rent.
Sure.
It's horrible movies, but they're making money, so only the people have themselves to blame for watching them.
Okay, wait, let me go back to something because you started mentioning names, and I like when people start mentioning names. I'm sure everybody's asked you any type of interactions that you had with any of the cast members with Saved by the Bell, even the smallest little thing. What do you got for me?
Well, on the good thing, Dustin Diamond,
Screech?
God rest his soul.
R.I.P.?
Yeah, I used to hang out in his room and play video games.
Really?
Yeah, and his dad was there. He's a big guy, and he had to have a guardian there, right?
Yeah.
But the one thing that I had, everything was great on the set, but the one blonde girl that I don't know her, Bridget Wilson.
The blonde
She's a
girl.
blonde knockout. She's in a lot of stuff.
Okay.
She played one of the.
Was she the series regular?
No, she was a nerd girl. She's
Okay.
once in a while.
But that's not the Spelling, is it? Aaron Spelling's daughter?
No, Nielsen, I think.
Okay.
I get her right.
All right. We'll figure this out later. Go ahead.
Bridget Wilson.
Okay.
Wilson.
Tell me. Okay.
I think.
All right. Tell me about it.
We're at a lunch table, and I'm making like crude jokes, like the way I am.
Sure.
And she just gets up and huffs and goes to another table. And she never talked to me unless we were in a scene together. I like, what the hell, So that's the only friction I ever got from that set. Oh, and another thing, at the one where we were singing the school song.
Yeah.
All together, all of us in the choir. I didn't want to sing, so I was like mouthing it. And the director, Don Barnhart, he goes, stop. Why aren't you singing? I said, I really not a good. He goes, you're an actor, so act. So I started singing like a canary. That was embarrassing.
All right. So Troy, we're going to shut it down here soon, and we're about to hit the 30-minute mark.
Okay.
What else do I need to know, dude? Give me something. Give me something I'm not asking.
I'm very frustrated. I'm doing a lot of home auditions. I get a couple callbacks. I had a callback for a commercial, but because of the frickin' fires, they moved over to Canada, and I didn't have a passport. But I'm just frustrated that I'm sending out all these self auditions. I think I'm doing good. Using your advice, you say I'm doing good, but nothing's biting. So.
Well, Troy, let me tell you this right now. You got to get a passport, man.
I'm gonna.
Because that is such an important tool for us actors, so we could jump on that plane to go to Canada if we need to, and they'll just move on to the next actor who has a
right. But you can see there's ways to speed up passports.
Well, I know, but you just get it out of the way and have it.
I'm gonna do that. If that's advice from my mentor, and I'm gonna do it.
And what else have we learned here today? That you're gonna look for those signings.
Yes,
weekend conventions.
Yes, sir.
And I don't know. I guess that's all we've learned here.
Tommy, he wanted to come and.
How come you didn't bring your son Tommy?
Well, no, I told him I forbade him from coming. But
Tommy, you have.
What the fuck, Tommy?
Troy.
Tommy. Stop, Clint.
Okay,
Clint,
Troy.
I love you.
Troy.
Tommy, get back in there.
Troy. What shirt is this?
It's not me. It's Lusa.
All right, get it out of here.
I'm sorry. I had to do that.
I know you did, and I appreciate it. I did. I really did. Troy, all right, dude. We got in and out on this one.
If you're
Nobody
watching,
got hurt.
cast Troy Fromin.
Troy Fromin.
and Clint.
Troy, who is your representatives right now?
I'm Talent.
Who else do they rep? Do you know?
Nobody.
The Osmonds?
Yes, the Osmonds.
Troy, dude, you've been a great friend of mine since the '90s, dude. I have always had fun and appreciated you. And Troy Fromin at Fromin's Deli, he always tells me, "Hey, swing by and I'll hook you up with a pastrami." I mean, that is the sweetest man right there, and he means it. So, guys, if you're in Santa Monica, go to Fromin's Deli.
When are you gonna open the Nolan's over here?
I wish, man.
So I can get some free shit.
I know it, right?
Yeah.
But you got to go down to South Texas for that, and hopefully one day I'll bring a pull boy place out here.
Nice. I hope so.
Yeah. All right, Troy. Listen, I love you, my brother, and I got one last favor. Can you tell everybody bye out there?
Bye. Oh, bye.